Hi. Last year, I pointed out to you Airbus, BOS-T symbol, as an interesting value stock. Why? Airbus has a steady cyclical business with occasional dips. Such a dip arrived at a time, so the stock, for me, became temporarily cheap. But it was, I said, a cyclical stock with fairly predictable cycles. At the time, it was merely undergoing a product crossover from a range of general antiseptic products to focusing on rubber products. To do this, the company got a new management team to run the rubber business. It then took a few write offs and restructured. By then, the bank also got involved and told them to cut costs when the balance sheet got out of whack, and so the stock tanked some more. On Bay Street, that's Canada's Wall Street, people admitted that the stock overshot after COVID when Bay Street got too enthusiastic about new product potential. When these failed to arrive very soon, the stock tanked. Now, when the stock was around 6 to 8, I got interested and mentioned it because of the potential to reach the all-time high of 40. From 8 to 40, that's a five-bagger potential. Not too shabby, I thought. Now, how was the product crossover going? I kept a watching eye on this. It didn't seem to go too badly. There have been no insider selling. If the product crossover has been delayed or a dud, I would have been expecting several to sell. None did. But yes, the product crossover took a bit longer to materialize than I expected. As a result, it seems my mention was too early. But was it a mistake? I don't think so. The stock is now at about 4, down 30 to 40% from where I mentioned it. But you know what? I think Airbus may now be even more interesting than before. And apparently, insider finally think so too. How do I know? Because several insiders have been buying the stock, as you can see from the snapshot in the Canadian Insider website. Here it is. Freeze it and watch it. The green dots, by the way, are the spots where insiders are buying. So is the stock a buy? I never say a stock is a buy. I can only say it is a suitable candidate for your sleuthing. But sleuthing how? Well, buy my books, The Sleuth Investor, The Advanced Sleuth Investor, and follow the methods. The method is simple, but it entails some work on your part. It requires you turning off your internet screen, putting on your gumshoes, and doing human. That's human intelligence, face-to-face research. Physical investigation, as in talking to people and asking around, not SIGINT, signal intelligence, which is watching blips on the screen and imagining buy and sell signals. In other words, it requires you to change your view of yourself as a fancy stock scientist and see yourself more as a rough and tumble street operative. But is it worthwhile your effort? Well, it depends on the potential. How high can the stock go from the current 4? When I last mentioned it, I said it may go to 40, that is to the last peak, a 5-bagger. This time I think this is modest. Why? First, because the stock is now lower than the previous price. But second, because every time in the past, in all cycles, the stock piece was either equaled or surpassed the previous peak. The last peak was 40. The stock is 4. If the stock can get to 40, it's a 10-bagger. But it can also surpass it, as it did in the last cycles. That too is up for you to find out. Of course, it would require some work. How much work would you do for a 10-bagger? Or maybe a 12-bagger? I don't know about you, but I do quite a bit of work for this. But wait, just how soon can the stock reach that peak? 10 years? More? No. Luckily, Airbus cycles are fairly predictable, and the stock follows them closely. Here is a chart. Freeze it and see the cycles for yourself. As you can see, peak to peak, the cycle has been about 6 years. The last peak was in December 21 to January 22. So based on the past cyclical pattern, the next peak can be 2027 or 2028. That's 3 to 4 years from now. And if the stock reaches its previous peak, that's a 10-bagger from here, maybe more, in less than 5 years, in less than 4 years. What if it does more than that? Nice. But can it? Will it? That's, of course, for you to find out. I'm just a sleuthing instructor giving you some homework. How have these homework teachings done before? Other multi-baggers I pointed out to you before as sleuth-worthy were the Argentinian ones, Idonor, EDN, Bank Galicia, GGAL, Telecom Argentina, TEO, Bank Macro, BMA, all of which are multi-baggers between 8 to 15 times, but they are still only about halfway or midpoint to their potential. Can they get there? Up to you to find out. And how about Illumin, ILM-T, or VFC, both of which have only begun to move? They too have multi-bagger potential. And future multi-baggers too. Live Person, LPSN, RB Marley, ALB, just setting up to the coming Zoom. Maybe, because of course I could be wrong. And don't forget, we still have to go to the crash of 2026, where all stocks will tank, as will probably these multi-baggers, although hopefully it will be only temporarily before they continue their climb. That's all for today. Please let me know in the comment below what you think of the above, and if you like it, subscribe to the channel and forward to all your subscribers and friends who they subscribe to, and buy my books, The Sleuth Investor, The Advanced Sleuth Investor, and if you like them, give them a review on Amazon, which I hope will be a good one. I'll see you next time, and meantime, thank you very much for watching.